Hello and greetings, everyone. Welcome once again to a Fulfillment Friday Spectacular. And it's especially spectacular because I have some very good friends with me on the eve of a great celebration, which would be my birthday. So please welcome Fiery Joker, Commander Firebrand, and Lightning Bliss.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo están ustedes?
Muy bien, Guido.
And there we go. Now we're going to spend the rest of the chat trying to decide which of us can speak the best broken Spanish.
Muchas gracias, amigo.
Sí.
That's all I know.
¿Por qué no los dos? Arriba! No, wait, that might get a little racist. No, my bad.
How's that racist? It's like freaking. They liked it when Speedy Gonzales did it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. All the complaints. The one group of people who weren't complaining about Speedy Gonzales were the actual Hispanic folk.
Yep.
But either which way, I may not be as good as the writers for Speedy Gonzales. But unfortunately, Aramau is feeling a little under the weather, so she's here in spirit. But above all, we want her to get a good rest.
Yes.
So, and we'll more updates as she heals. It's good times. But let us give some shout outs to folks in the chat, like Vulpecula Enfield, Enderpup, Goodbud Trinary, Nightstorm. Oh, I'm going to do a terrible job with this name. Tromdolov Drolmai. Apologies. And Appleshoe, Komotra Steel, Little Heart Raccoon, and Brian Luna. Let's see, Whirlwind Saber. That, I can see My Little Pony be named that.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a Sweetie Bloom. Hello, Sweetie Bloom. It's good to see you. I wasn't sure if you can make it tonight. So it makes it doubly wonderful.
Yay!
Jude 3300 and Pokemon Fire Eevee. The Miner. Ninetales Chaos Fox. Oh, and here we go. Katie the War Hero E2 Tank Engine 105.
Guessing there's a story behind that.
I will let Katie describe it, for I am incapable of breathing at the moment.
Why do y'all do this to him?
Master Gojadera 91 is here, as is Grimwolf. Oh, and Goja Lion 91 just donated. Thank you for your support. And thank you, he also posted a nice art piece on Twitter earlier today. And welcome to William Crow, Gaiety, M488 Thunderbird, Chep to Stay. Let's see here, Streak Arioso.
Oh man, I'm sorry, sweetie, but my dyslexia hit me really hard right there. I thought you typed, I just got home from eating a Christmas tree.
Oh.
Hey, you get plenty of fiber in your diet, that's for sure.
That's an image.
Yeah, whoa.
I'm thinking of Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation. Was there a squirrel? Because there's a little extra protein for you.
Squirrel!
Oh, let's see here. Also, Drunken Grandmaster, General 5 stars. And Ven Pie. Oh, here we go again. Stephen Trainboy, 124449, Ralphie and Railfan Brony. Hey. And Hawkfire. I appreciate that. Just Hawkfire. It's nice, short, 2 syllables. Hawkfire. Yay.
That works.
It works, and I appreciate that it works. Now, meanwhile, over on the Twitch, we have Streak Arioso once again. Reality Check 016. I should be on Reality Check 235 by now. Tokoi, Cherry Fluff Belly. Gojaline 91 again. And Fire Tiger 1986. Thank you for your support and donation. I just realized I didn't update the sounds to go out. There we go. Now you can all hear proper like.
Huzzah.
Huzzah indeed. And that son of a Mitch, I appreciate the M immensely. All right, so I believe I have given proper shout-outs. Please forgive me if I've missed you. Hello! It's powerful.
It's very powerful.
And trying to... Is everyone, like, competing to be overly generous today? I appreciate it, but my goodness.
It's the birthday thing. It's like that always happens.
Well, it's much appreciated no matter what.
Yeah.
Do we need to sing the song?
Uh-oh. Oh, yes, I know the song that bugs everyone, and this is how it goes.
Is this your way of avoiding the said song?
I don't know. I mostly just know my innate need to troll for inexplicable reasons. Inexplicable?
Bad luck not to sing the song.
Well, I shan't stop you.
I'm not singing this over Discord. The desync is going to drive me crazy. Get it on the floor.
Alrighty then. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to old Buzzard. Happy birthday to you. Bam.
Just a stirring rendition. A stirring rendition. And again, Al Fire Tiger being even more generous. Oh my goodness, you peeps. Ah, you like me. You really like me.
Oh, that's it. Oh, wow.
That's completely inappropriate music, but I'll go with it. That's right. That's right. On this day, I was born. Yes, it's a funny thing. My brother was born at 7:22 p.m. I was born at 7:22 a.m. And I got smacked in the tuchus and decided to be a night owl henceforth. Yeah, no early mornings for me, thank you very little. Man. Oh, and KS Lady 97 will turn 25 on Monday. Happy birthday in advance. 25. That's a good year. But
I remember when I was 25.
I remember. I wasn't doing a whole lot then. Get off my lawn, you younger me. Meh. Well, anywho, I thought it'd be a fun treat to catch up with buds before the big day. I mean, I say big day, but the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow is get my oil changed. You know, they recommend that at the 42-year tune-up. Yeah, you see here, you got some clog in your intake. Whoa, you're in Colorado. That explains that. And let's see here. Whoa, the mileage, my God, what have you been doing with your shins? But either which way. So, you know, that's not the most exciting way to start a birthday, but hey, adulting.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Of course, I always like the Ryan George description of growing up. Oh, yeah, having fun. I used to remember doing that. And just remember, whenever it gets hard, all you have to say is adulting. You try. Okay, adultery. No.
No.
Oh, my God.
Now, what I like to do is I like to call my mom and be like, Mom, I'm tired of adulting. Can I come home now? But of course, she says, no, you're already out of the nest. I don't have to deal with you anymore. Go away, shoo.
That's right. You're the bird. You were meant to fly. Fly.
That's what she says because she's got 5 other grandkids to look after because she likes looking after kids, not full-grown adult children. Meh.
I could see the appeal. At the very least, there's the height difference to consider.
Ha.
But talking about Flying Duckling, oddly, I was playing a game of Destiny recently in a dungeon with a new player, and they didn't have their mic on, so they had no idea what to do, and we couldn't coach them. So I just kept saying, "Go, little duckling, fly, fly, leave the nest, come on already." I mean, it actually felt kind of bad. He's like, "No, don't. You're in this one section. Don't kill this enemy. It will shave time off the limit." And he doesn't know that. So if ever the kid's character died, we'd be like, "Don't revive him. Just finish the game." It's like that. This is not how you become a cohesive team. He's screaming out, "Don't revive the dead one." Oh, boy, take that clip out of context.
Yeah, whoa.
Well, anyway, that's what's been going on with me. But really, I want to know what's been going on with the two of you. So I'm going to say Josh first.
All right. Well, so we basically had a kind of late Thanksgiving / early Christmas because of our family's kind of all around the country right now, and so what we're trying to do is trying to consolidate everything onto one early day in December so that way we won't have to have everyone fly out during Christmas, and it's after Thanksgiving. We do it on a less terrible day for flying and travel, and so we can all have it on that. So we can all have it on that particular day. And there was a lot of there was a lot of fun, a lot of memories made. It was great to see my little brother again. And yeah, it's yeah. So things have been very very chill over in the Scorcher household. Nothing really terrible. So very thankful that nothing absolutely positively terrible has been happening.
But let us all appreciate for a minute the pun that was just uttered. Everything was chill in the Scorcher household. Congratulations, Josh. You just made a pun. You have learned, young Padawan.
I take it back. This is everything is terrible now, and I regret everything.
Everything is lousy. You just made a pun and it makes you cranky.
Also, I just learned that you are not the youngest in your family. I thought you were the youngest son, but all right.
No, I'm second oldest.
Got it.
Now, I don't mean to speculate or give away family secrets, but I recall an elder sister?
Younger sister, older brother, and younger brother.
Ah, okay. Okay, sorry, I'm out of touch on that one. My bad. Let's see.
So yeah, just doing a bunch of D&D and Pathfinder related stuff. I have discovered the wonders of Microsoft OneNote. I know that sounds really boring, but oh my gosh, this thing is amazing. Where was this thing all this time in terms of organizing everything TTRPG related?
So OneNote, but it's not musically inclined. It's like notes for the whole group. That's not a pun. I'm genuinely curious.
Okay, with you, it's really hard to tell. Sometimes it looks like you don't actually listen to me. You just listen to specific words that I say, and you try to make puns out of them.
Words.
Yeah. But yeah, Microsoft OneNote, it's a part of Microsoft Office, and it's really, really freaking good in terms of organizing D&D related stuff. It's I don't have to flip between like a bazillion different Google Chrome tabs anymore.
Oh, that is helpful. I have a couple of jobs wanted to rely on Google, like Excel on Google Drive and Word on Google Drive. There's too many tabs at once. Can we streamline this? So that sounds like a step in the right direction.
Oh yeah.
Also, a big thanks out to the Sweetie Bloom. She has just donated, which I believe is a part of her incremental donation barrage. It's like we will now proceed to spoil you in increments.
You asked for this.
I actually, this was about because of those rubber duckies I found last year. Rubber ducky, yeah. So like the Spyro villain,
Be right back.
and for my friend the illustrious Q, we got a Picard, a Picard rubber ducky. Make it wah, Mr. Wolf. Shut up, Lee. All right. Oh, and Mr. Sonic 31 has offered a donation over on the Ko-fi. Thank you.
Cool.
Now, Blissy, what have you been up to?
Oh, wow. Brain. Well, not working. Okay.
I've had days like that.
Yeah, we had a good family Thanksgiving. I admit I was a little stressed out because, so I work from home, but everybody else at our place works for Amazon. They're Amazonians. And of course, Amazon makes people work on Thanksgiving, though luckily this factory will let them out at 3. And my sister, who was hosting, was willing to wait till 4 for them to get out, but it's still like, it takes the 30 minutes to get out of the factory, and then slap another hour on top just to travel to my sister's place. So
Oy.
I admit I was like just kind of stressing out and pacing because everybody was already getting food, and my stepdad is looking at me. He's like, "Go get a plate." I'm like, "Well, they're not here yet, though. I don't want to eat without them." And he's like, "I assure you, there's going to be plenty of food, and you can go back for seconds and eat with them when they get here. Please." And I'm like, "Fine." And yeah, sure enough, he was absolutely correct because I have a really huge family, so we had tons of food. It's like we could have easily taken on 10 more people. We just had that much food.
Well, good on you for being willing to wait. I mean, the family that eats together stays together. But also good on your dad for looking out for your what would it be? Caloric intake, energy, transmission.
He knows, yeah, because he knows my patterns. See, I used to believe in this Thanksgiving curse that when I was a kid through my teen years, every time I would eat Thanksgiving, something would always happen. I would get sick, and the next day I would be just horribly, horribly sick from like eating too much food, I guess. So I came up with the Thanksgiving tradition for myself, which he absolutely despises, but understands I do it because of fear, is that I fast the day before.
Ah.
So for more than 24 hours, I've only had maybe water and a few bites of banana and grapes, but obviously that's not sustainable. So he knows I'm freaking out and pacing. I'm starving, but I don't want to eat without the rest of my family. But he it was good. Thank you, stepdad.
Well, I mean, everything said the bananas. I'm sure that had real appeal. Thank you.
Do it.
You're looking at these.
I mean, I could laugh at him.
Good for you.
Something to get fired up about.
Hi-oh.
I'll stand over here.
Stand in the light of fire. It's worth it.
You know, Yahtzee once posited the idea that he just really dislikes multiplayer video games because there's no ability or option to reach through the internet stream and just slap the other person. I'm thinking he was onto something.
You know, I will admit I too enjoy the idea of retribution against toxic players, but too bad, not in this case. Now let's see here. I need to get rid of a bot on the Twitch. Mod view, chat settings. How about block? Block. There you go.
Be gone, bot. I have
Be
that.
gone!
There we go.
I have that sound effect for my streams. It's just "Be gone, bot."
But yes, overall, since Thanksgiving, I have been working on commissions as usual, working on a Christmas special that will be released hopefully Christmas Eve. I was hoping to get it done today, but unfortunately I forgot that I had a stream with TF2 and then this stream. So hopefully I'll try to finish it tomorrow.
Well, we'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
One
more thing, I forgot. Yeah, almost forgot. I'm having my anniversary week next week. So 9 years. Yay!
Oh, congratulations. Also applause.
Thank you.
Also, a supreme thank you to Sweetie Bloom for taking care of that stupid bot. And now Hawkfire is also over on Ko-fi. My goodness. It's a barrage of generosity. Complete generosity blitz. Now let's see here. I believe I saw a question early on from Gojalan91. Thoughts on the show Stargate SG-1?
Oh, I love Stargate SG-1. It's so freaking good. Like, it's got character development. It's like a really, really great story. Just fun mythology. Oh, it's so good. And it's so freaking funny, too.
Never got into Stargate, so sorry. Don't really know anything about it.
I'm kind of in between. I didn't follow it point for point, but when I did tune in and I got to see episodes, I thought it was all exceptionally well done. I really loved the humor, especially the commander, who's meant to be a continuation of the fellow from the actual movie. Almost so big a difference, I almost can't reconcile them as the same character. He's actually having fun and living life, whereas in the movie he was dealing with supreme depression. Oh
yeah, I remember like Richard Dean Anderson. He said he wasn't going to play the role if he wasn't able to, be funny.
And, everyone deals with grief in their own way. It wasn't quite enough to save his marriage for the character, but he found peace.
Yeah. And not much of a spoiler, but that little plot point gets brought up quite a few times in the series.
Really?
Yeah, the idea, yes, his marriage as well as him coming to grips with the death of his son.
Mm. Although
even in the funniest episode, like the downright funniest episode of Stargate SG-1, which is Window of Opportunity, it's basically a Groundhog Day episode. It gets brought up, and it's not out of place. It's very poignant, and it just does it very, very well.
Actually, it's funny. I was thinking the exact same episode. He, on one iteration, he quits SG-1 and kisses the lieutenant, was it?
Yeah, Lieutenant Carter.
And in another, he's actually playing golf through the Stargate, which probably sets a few golfing records for the longest drive.
Yeah, that they make that exact joke.
I know, that was just fun. And then
it's funny. Just at first they hate it, but then they realize, oh wait, in every Groundhog Day episode of any show always deals with that realization. Like, wait, I can do anything without consequence.
And then that's what that's the ultimate test. Who are you when there's no consequence? And the truth is, they're still pretty cool guys. I mean, they're not like cruel to anyone, but they're certainly taking off some of the limits.
Yeah, at worst, the kinds of people they blow off steam.
Or steal a kiss.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I'm an avid shipper. How can I not deny?
Oh yeah, there's like rampant shipping fodder between those two throughout the entire series.
let's see. I saw another question. Prince Apollo's asking favorite iteration of Batman.
Ooh. Okay, that's not that hard for me, I guess.
No, nor for me, but you first, Blissy.
Well, definitely Batman the Animated Series. Just can't beat that. And sorry, I'm very old school. I prefer Tim Burton's Batman.
There we go.
I just don't like anything else that came after Batman. What was the Batman Returns with Catwoman and the Penguin? Tim Burton.
Ah, yeah. But you didn't like Clooney Batman?
Nope.
Good.
It's not that I think the other Batmans and their actors did a terrible job. It's just when I grew up with Batman the Animated Series, it was dark and gritty, Gotham City, 50, felt like it had the 40s, 50s vibe, and the cartoon respected that. The first two movies respected that. Everything after that just feels too corny. And yeah, again, respect to the newer Batman movies, I just don't even bother with them because they're just too modern. Again, I'm very old school, so.
While I also agree with you that Kevin Conroy has been amazing, I'm actually not. I'm actually kind of impressed with how Jason O'Mara has been handling the newer animated movies. Like, he's been doing. Yeah, he does play like a much more reserved kind of Batman, and and I don't know, maybe it's just because I love that his dynamic with the Damian actor, but they're just really, really good together. It's like, oh my gosh, you're making it so that I don't hate Damian. How did you do that?
Oh yes, let's see. That's with Batman Hush, where Damian is coaching his father on dating etiquette. I mean, even Damian is saying, "Father, you know you've made bad choices with women in the past," and he's specifically referring to his own mother. And like, dude. Also,
hey, let's be honest. Talia is not a good person.
No, she's not, and her parenting style leaves very much to be desired.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting how Damien's just come to terms with that. It just reminds me of like several members of my family where like, like, do you ever see someone like, and like just their backstory, like in real life, just you ever see someone and you ever just think about them, it's a miracle you turned out as good as you did.
Yeah, there's been some occasions of that.
Yeah, I've met it's I have a couple family members who are like that, and it just I get that sort of energy from this iteration of Damien. He's just like, yeah, my mother was awful. I've come to terms with that.
I can hear that iteration of Batman going, good for you. You sure you don't want to talk to Starfire? Get some emotional closure. I'm sorry. I'm good at many things, but not emotional well-being because I'm Batman.
Yeah, it's. I still think it's just. Oh yes, and cover your drink.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That was actually how he was in this timeline.
That's gotta be the worst How I Met Your Mother spinoff.
But the fact that he knows that, the fact that he was able to, oh my gosh, it's how he. It's like you gotta wonder, like, who told him?
Well, I mean, the League of Assassins probably has a whole class on spiking drinks. Yeah, but I shudder to think if they introduced it. By the way, if you wonder where babies come from, please pay special attention to this part. That's just wow, League of Assassins. Also,
I do have a soft spot for those movies, like especially because in Hush, like the doll maker was voiced by Weird Al.
I can see him being playing several villains.
No, it's just like I'm listening to you just listen to the doll maker's voice. It's like, wait, that's Weird Al. No, that's not. Remember how, like, in our first collab where I said that it's when Weird Al was voicing Cheese Sandwich, how it's just his voice?
Yeah, it's Weird Al Pony.
Yeah, and here in this movie where he plays the doll maker, like, I can't hear him at all.
So, surprise! Maybe if he makes a song about it.
No!
I was the doll maker. That wouldn't be quite the right parody. But, speaking of, have either of you seen the Weird Al movie?
No.
I need to.
I have seen it. It is hilarious. I can guarantee you'll get several very good laughs out of it.
Oh,
But I shan't spoil. No. Instead, I shall thank Gojulai91 and the Miner, both of whom gave very generous donations. Although, the Miner, you don't have to give money to be a part of this. You're a part of this just by being here on the stream, which I appreciate. Just let it never be said that to enjoy something or be in a part of a fun event, you have to... how should I say it? You never have to try to please the streamer. You're here, and that's a great deal right there. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And let's see here. For me, I too will... Look, I was actually working on a script for a Kevin Conroy Batman episode tribute today. And I took a special note of all the Batmen. Only Conroy was the one who made the Batman voice Bruce Wayne's default when he was in either privacy or the company of trusted friends like Alfred. He sounds like Batman. Everyone else dons the Batman voice when he dons the cowl. And it's like that totally changes who is the real Batman. And with Conroy, I got the sense that it's Bruce Wayne that's the disguise, and Batman is more real.
Exactly.
Yeah, they actually did something with that in the comics, where when Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman first met, they met under the lasso of truth, and they said their actual names. She said, like, Wonder Woman said Diana, Superman said Clark Kent, and while under the lasso, he said Batman.
Yes, I remember also in the comics when Lex Luthor framed Bruce Wayne for murder. It took like a year to clear his name. Batman actually set it up to say Bruce Wayne had fled the city. He's like, Bruce Wayne is the mask I wear. Now I'm free to just be Batman. But except in Mask of Phantasm, where for most of those flashbacks he's Bruce Wayne voice. It's only after Fresh Tragedy and Heartbreak that Batman really takes over.
Yeah.
And it's funny, even reading how Conroy, who never tested for cartoons before, how he got that role. It is, one, the strength of friends and recommendations, especially between voice actor directors and agents. But also, he said Batman is a Greek tragedy. And so he reached into all the Greek characters he played on stage to find that dark voice. Now, of course, my second favorite Batman is the he-she Batman. Because I'm Batman.
Kishi Batman. Which one was that again?
Ended.
How it should have ended because, hey, do you want to know my secret identity? Shrinks to the size of Batman. How do you do that? Because I'm Batman.
Oh, Lordy, yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm so tired of this Martha thing. I'm ready to put it to bed. Have we learned nothing?
I'm biting my tongue because I'm seeing in the chat that people are talking about Gargoyles, and I'm like, stop talking about Gargoyles. That's one of my favorite shows. Stop it.
Oh, well, I love Gargoyles, too. I thought a new comic was coming out this week.
I don't know about comics. I just know that my Twitter feed, a few friends and fans have been spamming my Twitter feed with, hey, have you heard about this? And it's Gargoyle action figures, and my eyes just went, what?
Oh, you didn't know? Because they're really something.
They look amazing, and I'm like, I want. I don't know where to put them, but I want.
Oh,
No.
birthday
no,
shenanigans. Oh,
No.
Sweetie Bloom, if you're in the chat still,
No.
please help me make a note to
No.
drive her crazy.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Just no.
Oh,
Anyway.
reverse psychology? No.
No.
Oh, dang, she didn't fall for it. Coises. Coises and expletive deleted still. Still, I mean, I know this is a Goliath undertaking.
Oh.
But, you know, we can excise your inner demonas. And add generosity to my current lexicon.
And this is why I'll never attend the Bronx.
Hey! I'm gonna wear out that button. Oh, but I was at Mile. For those who don't know, one claim to fame here in Denver is the Mile High Comics Warehouse. There used to be several stores, but unfortunately times got tough, so we're back to the warehouse. I got to sort of stroll through my childhood yesterday just looking at everything. But I could swear that news was there was a Gargoyles comic, and it wasn't on the shelf. And if Mile High doesn't have it, I'm willing to bet it didn't really come out.
I mean, I can Google if there's anything. Gargoyles comics.
Oh.
Something about Dynamite Gargoyles #1, all new ongoing series and in continuity with the epic Gargoyles television classic.
Not including the Goliath Chronicles, I hope.
What's wrong with the Goliath Chronicles?
They were a bit... How do I put it? They tried new things for the show, but at the same time, it started to feel like a very different show. Altogether.
I mean, fair, and I get that not everybody liked it. I mean, I personally liked it because I liked the adventure aspect of it, but the real reason why I watch Gargoyles is because the voice actor of Goliath.
Oh, yes.
Goliath was my crush, my first cartoon crush.
I'm blanking on his name, but yes, I find it hilarious that he voiced both Goliath and Spawn.
And Shadow Man.
It was Keith David.
Keith David.
Yeah.
Yes, Keith David, who's like second only to Morgan Freeman in buttery smooth voices.
Will actually set me off a few weeks back, or back in October, because apparently he got to take a picture with the man.
Ooh. Lucky.
Super jealous. It's fine.
Is it though?
It's fine.
Great. Now I'm picturing Cell from Team 4-Star. It's fine. It doesn't bug me. It bugs me. It bugs me a lot.
I'm sitting in the corner with a rain cloud on my head, and it's raining on me, and I'm just trying to put on a smile. It's fine. Hello, darkness, my old friends. Anyway.
I've come to talk about Keith again.
I love his voice so much. It's
Oh, yes.
amazing. He is a treasure.
Oh, yes. Very much so. But I remember the Goliath Chronicles, like, call me crazy, it sounds so silly, but as a shipper, Brooklyn and Angela starting their relationship, it's like, whoa, where'd this come from? It's like, that was rather sudden. And then, of course, my favorite, Brooklyn, is heartbroken, so I'm like, oh, now I'm sad. But then I know what the original plan was for Brooklyn, and then I'm just like, well, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should give voice in case it actually happens in the comics. What the hey, everyone! If you don't want to know, cover your ears and go la 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 for a few seconds. Brooklyn was supposed to get a hold of the Phoenix Gate by accident. It just sort of pops out. And while he's gone for 20 minutes in perceived time, he lives several decades and comes back with wife and gargoyle kids of his own. And that's how they not only develop his character, but expand the cast. What do they call him? He became the Time Dancer. Even though it sounded like Time was leading him on a merry dance.
Haha. Chat. Wow.
Wow.
Let's see. Wow. Oh, and I see someone. I don't speak Russian. That makes me very. Except, wait, I'm not really sure that's Russian.
I'm not sure either, but I wouldn't be surprised if you have Russian fans too. It's always surprising when you find out, whoa, I have Russian fans. And I remember once I had to Google Translate a comment from a fan from Russia, and I'm thinking, ooh, it's probably going to be some really cool compliment or something. And no, it was just a generic Lightning Bliss. I like your work. You're so adorable. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Actually, you know what's funny? I did a quick Google Translate, and the message is Russians are in chat. So, truth in advertising, to be sure.
It's always fun to, have people from all over the world just randomly show up in your streams. It's like, oh, hey, it's like I don't appeal just to, people like me. It's like I appeal to it's like people where I am. It's just like there are people like me, like all over the world. That's really awesome.
It is, but I also feel bad that I can't reply in kind. Because, like I say, that Spanish you heard at the beginning is about the limit of my linguistic skills.
Yeah, well, that's what. AI is getting a lot better at like instantly translating language, which is really great.
No kidding.
Yeah. And a lot of people, and the advent of the internet has been so great, and just like learning so much about like other cultures, like especially in Europe. Like I remember talking to Dogi, who's from Finland, and I'm from Finland. Oh, you're from Mommy Land. He just sputtered. Was like, how do you know what that is?
I love his reaction. Wow.
It's like, what?
I pick things up through cultural osmosis.
I mean, the closest reaction we ever got to something like that was Aeon has a few friends from Russia, I think they were from Poland. And he was mentioning about we make these pastries here. They're some of my favorite pastries. They're called kolaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we tend to Texify those, so they're not sweet kolaches. They're usually just stuffed with meat and cheese. But anyway, he mentioned that he had a few kolaches here when some of the Polish friends were talking about them, and they're like, wait a minute, how do you know what those are? It's like, oh yeah, Texas makes them here too. They're like, what?
I did what?
What? It's like, oh yeah, we had some Polish immigrants migrate to Texas. a small percentage, but yeah, and so they brought some of their food with them.
I always appreciate a Gunglian who would bring stroopwafels to conventions.
Oh, I love stroopwafels.
Oh, because Agatain?
Well, either which way, I mean, the stroopwafels are delicious, but the great story is when he was handing them out at Nightmare Nights. This young lady comes up to him and says, I don't appreciate that you're appropriating someone else's culture. And before he could explain that this is his culture, she just storms away. I was like, well, you're lost. More stroopwafels for me. More for me. All for silver.
All for silver. And yeah, by Karen? You met a Karen.
Apparently.
In the wild.
In the wild. In their natural habitat.
Wow.
Listen.
Oh yeah. I've seen like really stupid things like, hey, if you're not Latino or Hispanic, you shouldn't be It's like if you don't live south of the border, if your ancestry isn't from south of the border, you shouldn't be speaking Spanish. And I'm like, boy, have I got something to tell you about a country called Spain.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, didn't you know that Spanish originates from Spain? Yeah. And also, there is Spanish, and then there's Mexican Spanish. Just like there is English from England, and there's American English. Yeah. Both actually very different languages. They're similar, but different at the same time.
Yeah, I believe it's a Castilian, or I don't know how you pronounce it.
No, I think you're right.
Just in the word.
Yes, our pronunciations are a bit limited.
Oh, also, one more thing I really would like to reiterate here. Mixed culture. Welcome to America.
Yee.
Yeah.
And they were darn good stroopwafels too. Her loss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, on a trip to Costco, first time I saw they were selling stroopwafels, I had one, and it is but a pale imitation. My taste buds scream out, "This is unacceptable! Unacceptable! 1 million years dungeon."
It's funny, you kind of remind me of that story Tarek told me when he had, he had steak in South America, and when he got back home, nothing ever compared again.
Ah, yes. You hit the peak, and then...
Yeah.
That reminds me of a really funny story. So I had to go to the emergency room for about a couple months ago.
Oh, hilarious!
Yeah, and so I was my doctor was the doctor there. He was talking to me about everything that was about the results, and he just casually mentioned that he was from Ethiopia, and I'm just like, I thought your accent sounded familiar. I lived in Kenya for 4 years. And he just gave me this look, and he just like this semi-dead serious look, and said, "Okay, there is something I need you to answer for me. The Fanta tastes different, right? I'm not crazy. Yes, Fanta tastes different here. Okay."
Wow, I didn't realize that was so important.
Yeah, it's apparently he was going crazy because he was drinking Fanta here, and it's like it tastes different. I don't know why.
Oh, it's called food product of food dye. It's a lot of food dye.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he wasn't having a fantasy.
But yeah, it's I do miss the Fanta from Kenya. It's especially blackcurrant. Oh, blackcurrant Fanta is so good.
You know, that's Sweetie Bloom is in agreement. She says Fanta in America is disgusting.
I'm not crazy about it.
I guess I've missed out on this. Well, okay, I didn't miss out on the American Fanta apparently.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember about that was that really weird commercial with all the women.
Fanta, Fanta, don't you want the Fanta, Fanta, don't you want the Fanta, Fanta? You know you want it.
And I just like, lady, I don't want what you're selling. Personal distance.
Like, okay, you're selling something and it's not Fanta.
Yeah, I know what you're really marketing on.
Yeah. No, you're better off drinking a Fanta, if not from Kenya, than in Europe. At least you're better off drinking their Fantas over there, because at least their FDA is so strict. You're not going to get food dyes in your drinks.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But now you've intrigued me. Now I kind of want to know what's a Fanta from Ethiopia tastes like.
Yeah, well, you can get it if you just go to Europe, because as Sweetie Boom pointed out in the chat, it's that in America we use corn syrup instead of cane sugar to sweeten our soda.
Huh.
And while it does work for some sodas, it does not work for others. Like Fanta, it does not work. You need cane sugar for Fanta.
Oh.
But for things like, like regular Coke and Pepsi, it's like, yeah, that works fine.
Voice of Reason is in the chat. He, this is open to misinterpretation. Ever do the Cokes from around the world at Epcot? It's like, was there a lot of red noses at that gathering?
I did the Coke thing at the Cokes. I should just say Cokes, not Coke. Cokes thing when we were at the High Roller PonyCon convention in Las Vegas.
Oh.
They had the Cokes taste from around the world, and I admit I was surprised at how many different flavors there were from certain countries. I remember not liking one specifically because it tasted like mouthwash.
Ugh.
No joke.
Ugh.
I'm like, wait, they drink this? I actually think it was from a certain location in Africa as well. I'm not sure which, but it was whereas another one was extremely fruity. It always surprises me about the different flavors.
Do you remember from where the fruity one originated?
I want to say, I think it might have originated from somewhere in Asia, but there were so many. I think that there were at least 20 different types we tried. At least 20. I know there was more.
Impressive. Let's see here.
Oh, I think my dinner has arrived, so I will be right back.
Oh, already. Let's see here. I scrolled just as Rockstar, the Metalhead Brony. The best soda is Jones, pure cane sugar from Canada. I have not tried Jones. I mean, it is Christmas, so I can get your own hot Jones. But, I'm being confronted by my very uncivilized palate. I've only sampled a smackerel of what the world has to offer.
Well, if you want to try something and not have to go too far, you could always go to Mexico because they use cane sugar.
Oh, there you go. I mean, I know there's some restaurants around who have been advertising, yeah, we use cane sugar. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, technically it's still not supposed to be too much of a good thing, but, Mm-hmm. Well, but now I know why the hoopla. Hoopla, I say.
Yeah, it's just like cane sugar is just a little more expensive to use than corn syrup, and it's so funny how soda is cheaper than water here.
Soda, that's a weird standard when soda is cheaper than water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if you get into those bottled waters and your Dasanis and the like. Now, there was an earlier question in the chat, I think also from Goja Lion. Have we ever seen Arthur's Perfect Christmas?
No, I have not.
Nor I. I'm afraid I can't help too much on that. Oh, that was Champ to Stay asking that. But there's also a question from Magical Dude. What's a country you would like to visit one day?
I would like to visit. What is it? I would like to visit Italy, Germany, Japan, or South Korea.
Okay, Italy, Germany, Japan. Of those, I'm curious about South Korea.
South Korea is where my sister lives.
Get you?
Yeah.
See, I would very much love to go to Japan. I was an otaku for a good while. I always wondered about seeing actual Japan. And I admit I would give myself like just a whole day to tour and go into intense debt in Akibahara. But also just to see the genuine culture, to gain a better understanding of things. But not quite there yet. Who knows when? I'm debating.
I want to see the rabbit and cat islands in Japan.
I'm not as familiar with those.
Oh yeah, basically they're just these really isolated islands where cats and rabbits were allowed to breed unchecked, and so they become tourist locations where you can just like feed the cats and rabbits because they're all very, even though they're feral, they're all incredibly friendly.
And they know that they can get a free meal.
Yeah.
Sometimes, no matter what the habitat, animals know what they like.
Mm-hmm.
And they know how to have us humans wrapped around their fingers or claws.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm just trying to figure out the best placement.
Josh, how about Switzerland? It's so gorgeous there and worth a trip. Oh, I've already been to Switzerland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's another place? Okay, I've technically been in England, but only due to a one-night layover, which I don't know if it counts. This was in the midst of the hoof and mouth disease, and so my family was very strict. Don't eat the meat. So I don't know if that counts as a proper introduction. I need a do-over. Let's see here. Oh, Sweetie Bloom is correct. A cat island is probably not a good idea for my allergies, but I would still be fascinated.
Yeah, and heck, you can go to Rabbit Island as well.
There you go. And you can say, yeah, they're breeding like Catholic rabbits. My goodness, all this detail in just one leg. I never fully appreciate mecha designers. They have an eye for far greater detail. Plus, I'm kind of spoiled just having drawn ponies for a while. Not a lot of mechanisms there. It's all part of my plan to avoid drawing hands. Horrible, confusing hands.
Someone told you to save.
Oh, yep, that's my crew looking out for me. Actually, funniest thing, when trying to do a really quick Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight, I had it all set, I had it all done, computer crashed, and unrecoverable. Then I had to go with an even more low-budget goodnight. It's just like, dang. It's because you don't save, my computer's shouting at me. Save, you dang fool. Josh, have you ever had a project that was on the cusp of completion, then all of a sudden, blip?
Yes. I can remember a distinct one where I had finished it. It was like all the way back in 2009. I was very, very upset that it was ready. It was going to be like my top 5 favorite heroes and villains in video games. And as I finished it, the save file got corrupted.
Oh, that's cruel.
Yeah. That was quite upsetting. It was completely unsalvageable, and
you got to try out several new curse words.
No, I did not.
Oh, you're more restrained than I.
don't mind. It's fun. It's weird. It's like I don't mind when people curse around me. I just don't indulge in it, and yet people still make an effort to censor themselves around me.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know why.
Well, sometimes if a person doesn't curse readily, I guess they're just concerned that they're offending you. I remember there was a kid in my high school who dropped an F-bomb every 5 seconds, it seemed. He was trying to be intimidating, but because he used it so frequently, it had no meaning.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of a curse word is to really announce your anger.
Mm-hmm. I'm back.
Welcome back.
I have a story.
Oh, please.
Okay.
So I was telling Silver earlier before the stream started that I ordered dinner from Golden Chick. I don't know if you know that place, Josh. Well, but anyway, it's basically just quick Southern soul food, fried chicken, and all that stuff. I ordered probably about $50 worth of food off Uber Eats. I get my order, and then I notice there's a very large bag right next to my order, and it's also from Golden Chick, and I'm like, there is no way I ordered that much food. So I take it in. My husband and Misty are looking at it and are like, what's all this? Where did this come from? I'm like, I don't know. Okay, let's check the receipt. So one receipt is for me and the other is to somebody completely else. I do not know anybody named Amanda. So it's $40 worth of food.
Whoa.
That I did not pay for. And wow. So we kind of panicked, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should call up the Uber who dropped it off, so I don't want them to get in trouble, because we didn't touch their food. We just check the receipt. I call her up, and I explained the situation, and she said it's nothing on her end. It has something to do with the restaurant, because because I was worried she would get in trouble.
Yeah.
So she reassured me that no, she won't get in trouble. It looks like it's an issue with the restaurant, and they just gave her that order on top. And I'm like, oh, is there nothing we can do? She's like, enjoy the free food. And I'm like, $40 worth of extra food. Okay, then.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas. That's my story.
Well, that's a good story. It's good of you that you tried to make amends. I mean, there's only so much you can do before everyone else like, So then you got to just, with them.
Yeah, because I legit thought she was going to get in trouble, that somebody was going to write her up, or she would get a bad review or something. I didn't want that to happen. So, yay.
Yay, hooray.
Sorry to the person who doesn't get their food, though. I feel bad. I'm trying not to feel bad, but I feel bad anyway.
Oh, you've done nothing wrong. That's the thing. Now, see, it'd be hilarious if someone in the chat suddenly said, "Hey, you got my order," and then we'd be like, "Oh, hey, what a small world."
Oh, Lord have mercy. I see Ari's in the chat.
Yeah.
Ari, are you feeling better? Well, either which way. Seth Moss has a question for us. Favorite MCU villain who is not Thanos? Not Thanos. I mean, if anybody says that elf guy from Thor: The Dark World, I'll know you're lying to me. Even I don't remember his name.
Voltron.
Don't pollute my childhood.
Voltron. Definitely Voltron.
It's from Thor: The Dark World. It was Malekith.
Malekith. Although it would have been funny if you were called Voltron. Let's see here. Killmonger, for me.
Let's see. Who would be my favorite?
Oh, and I tell you all true, the most recent Black Panther movie had some really good surprises. I enjoyed it. except for the underwater scenes because it was so dark.
Haven't seen it yet. I keep hearing things about it being too woke or it's racist. Woke, racist, make up your mind. And at this point, I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll just watch it for myself. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't say I think
my favorite is Mysterio.
Ah, there you go.
My favorite is Mysterio.
Monsieur Mysterio.
It's just he was just handled so well. Like I know, but even that's just I know like the whole one of the big things about Mysterio is that he's a movie buff, and they couldn't really incorporate that in to the movie. But still, it's just like how he functioned in the story was perfect, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun too. And let's see here. Just checking.
Yes, I apologize if I make noise. I'm going to mute so I can munch.
Yeah, no worries. Blissey was talked about many times. Paladin. Well, I don't know. I'll have to follow up on that. Are there any haunted or spooky places you'd want to visit, says Grim Wolf.
Haunted or spooky places? I don't know. Just like give me a like a good, decent haunted house, and I like one that's like professionally run, and I will be all for it. It's this past like a couple months ago, I went to my first couple of haunted houses, and I loved them. It's just like the amount of work and talent that goes into haunted houses. Like they rarely. I don't think that I've ever been scared by one, but just the amount of practical effects and just the atmosphere that these things throw in is just amazing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the real thing.
Well, I think
I was about to say, I can suggest an actual haunted location. We went there during our little October festivities.
Where's that?
We went to San Antonio, Texas, and I don't know if you might have heard of it, the Meager Hotel.
I need
to point out downtown San Antonio is extremely haunted. Of course it would be. It's the Alamo. A lot of bad things happen there.
For those who care to remember.
Yeah. The Meager Hotel, though, oh goodness, it served as a hospital during the Civil War specifically, so it saw a lot of bad stuff before it converted into a hotel. We went on a ghost tour. My niece wanted to do a ghost tour really badly, so me, Science Steel Rail, Aeon of Dreams, and my husband, we all went to the Meager Hotel. It was like a big tour guide, so we went there and then a few other locations and then eventually a cemetery, which was spooky in its own right. But the Meager Hotel, holy cow. This is not a flex or anything. It's just that me and Aeon are very attuned to emotional status, even if the person's not there. So I don't necessarily have the sight like he does, but I can definitely sense when something is there. So the whole time the tour guide was talking about the history of the hotel and that it was showing us proof of all these hauntings and ghost apparitions, the whole time me and Aeon kept looking to the second balcony.
Oh.
Because we kept sensing something was there. Like something was watching us. I kept looking up, didn't see anything. And then I just got this nagging feeling like something was staring intently at our group. Nothing malicious, just intently. And then finally, just to see if I wasn't going crazy, I asked him, "Hey, did you sense something over there?" He's like, "Yes, I saw it." Wait, I'm like, "What do you mean you saw it?" It's like, I'm not sure what it was. Definitely somebody, though. They were just checking us out. I'm like, okay. But yeah, there's a lot of spooky activities in the hotel. And apparently you have to book months in advance for this hotel so you can have your own personal ghost experience. It's a very It's a very lovely location too. They have a very nice restaurant and bar, so they're not without their charms as a very beautiful, luxurious southern hotel. But it's definitely haunted. Whew.
See, I've never been big on the haunting scene. I do need to talk to my friend Karelka, who is. She would know places to visit. Let's see here. But I saw earlier a recommendation from Grimwolf. Isla de las Munesas. Isla de las Munesas. I do not know what this translates to. But apparently it's good for a haunting. A haunting good time. Enderpup, you want to know if I'd ever take a real train ride? Well, it depends on what you mean. I took a train from Baltimore to New York. That was very real in 2019. It was just after the conclusion of the final BronyCon. And some friends were going to toast the success and closure by living it up in New York City. But I don't know if you mean like a more classic train, old school, or maybe a European train where it's a very different journey, I would call it. But who knows?
They might be talking about the more overnighter type of trains too. Those are, again, something Aeon chose because he loves scenery.
There you go.
But apparently going on one of those trains that is like an overnight overseas type of deal where I think there's this one we looked at that went from Chicago to the west LA coastline, I guess, or San Francisco coastline. I'm not sure where. But you get to see all this beautiful plains and west scenery and get to sleep and enjoy lovely meals while you do so.
That does sound nice. Although, unfortunately, I can only... My view of such train rides is kind of colored by Murder on the Orient Express. So, I mean, like, there are no guys with weird mustaches on this train ride. No, I'm not an anti-mustite. I just, I don't want to be part of a crime scene. That's all. It's like, if you do a crime, at least two people will know. God and me. Let's see, I'm going to get rid of that plug. It's very odd to try and blend Zoid and Gundam elements into one. I mean, Gundams, they look like machines, but they're actually pretty smooth on the joints. Zoids always tried to make their limbs look as mechanical as possible with all these little bits and pieces. Articulations.
Yeah, I'm curious, Silver, have you ever played a video game called Live Alive?
Live Alive. Can't say I have, and it's not ringing a bell. What's it?
I'm not. Well, if you haven't, then I'm not surprised. It used to be a Japan-only RPG for the Super Nintendo, and it gained a bit of a following as the years have gone by through like fan translations, similar to like Mother 3 and stuff. And it was actually one of the games that was credited as inspiration for Undertale.
Really?
Yeah, and I played through the game, and I can see why. It's specifically the pacifist, neutral, and genocide runs is directly lifted from a chapter from this game.
Oh, but just a chapter.
Yeah, and it's sort of an RPG anthology game. But yeah, so basically how it goes is like when you start the game, each chapter, you can play them in any order, is in a different time. Like prehistory, ancient China, Twilight of Edo Japan, the Wild West, present day, near future, and distant future. And you play a different character each time. And yeah, you might know this. You might recognize this. The boss song is called Megalomania. And it plays every time you fight the main boss of each chapter.
Huh.
Yeah. But I bring this up because the near future chapter is... Each one does a different timeline, but it also does a different sort of like genre of story. And near future is mecha anime parody. Yeah, it's really fun. But then you realize like, it's a mecha anime parody. Yeah, there's the Super Sentai stuff, and there's there's the Evangelion stuff. Oh. Yeah. So you quickly forget that. Do you know about Evangelion, right?
Well, yes, I've watched the original series. I still need to watch the final movie. Is there something uncomfortable?
It gets really friggin' dark.
That sounds like Evangelion, all right.
Yeah, it's like mecha animes. It's a mecha anime. Oh wait, mecha animes include Evangelion. Shoot.
It's like, oh, now I'm sad.
Yeah, it's oh gosh, but yeah, it's a really fantastic game, and they recently just came out with an HD remake for the Switch, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend it.
So is this the first time it's been released here in the States?
Yes.
Oh, live alive.
Yeah.
Huh. And I'm intrigued by the idea that you can be a pacifist or genocidal.
And it's specifically one of the chapters that you can do that in.
Well, I have to give it a look. I mean, I've never played Undertale start to finish, but I have seen videos and essays on it. It was probably one of the most pivotal games.
Oh yeah, it really was one of the most pivotal games of the decade.
Actually, I guess that's almost a prompt. Well, we're only in the start of the 2020s, but what would you say of the teens? What are some pivotal games you remember from then?
From the 2010s?
Yes.
Honestly, I would probably say Dark Souls.
The infamous Get Good.
Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, Dark Souls made people realize, like, hey, games can be hard. They can be things other than just movies where you push a button every now and again. And while there's nothing wrong with those kinds of games, I mean, I love me some Until Dawn, but it feels like a lot of games are doing that nowadays, where they're just mostly movies, where there's occasionally input from the player.
I've heard that criticism especially leveled at fighting games. That while nothing you do in the fight really seems to dictate the story. It's just interludes between cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, fighting game stories, like, usually, like, there have been a lot of, there have been a lot of those kinds of games. Like, I mean, it is interesting to see the kinds of different endings that you get, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to remember. There was an essay on there was a heroine in a samurai or sword fighting themed fight game, and depending on the tactics you used, this character would become either a heroine or a murdering psychopath, basically. But now I can't remember who it was. But it was a prime example of your gameplay actually dictates the story. Something that, I don't know, Mortal Kombat might want to look into that, as they keep trying to reinvent themselves. No more time travel, please. Por favor.
Yeah. Other significant games. I would say Binding of Isaac as well. Because that basically revitalized the roguelike genre. Because the roguelikes did exist before it, but it definitely popularized it. Yeah. Undertale was obviously on there. What else? Significant games. I would also probably say Far Cry 3.
There we go. I've seen the recommendation of BioShock 2 or BioShock Infinite within the last decade.
I wouldn't call those are good games, but I wouldn't call them really significant.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't think they've really left they're good games, but I don't think they left an industry-changing impact.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. At least compared to Far Cry 3 and how so many other companies, including the company that made it, just try to ape how it the mission open world, doing all these open worlds in the style of it, like Assassin's Creed tries to ape it. Yeah, it's Far Cry 3 was great, and it's just unfortunately now every game is starting to do it now, and it's really annoying.
Incidentally, Gaiety may have known the game I was talking about. Samurai Showdown and the character of Nakaruru. What about David Pescatelli wonders if Batman Arkham games would be defining?
Oh, yes. Yes. Arkham games, definitely. The Arkham games would definitely be on there. Voice also said Skyrim. Oh, heavens. That is the game that will never die. It is the industry's cockroach.
because of all the memes?
Not just because of all the memes. It's been re-released for a bazillion times.
Yeah, but I always thought that was the online version.
No, it's just there are versions for the Xbox 360, PS3, and now there's a version for the Switch. There's a version for PC. There's versions for the other Xbox consoles. There's been Game of the Year editions. It's really ridiculous.
Blissy, are there any video games that recently came out that were a big deal? I remember the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Didn't that come out 2 years ago?
Was it only 2 years ago? Huh.
I think so. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. If we're going for really, really recent games, a game recently made it onto my top 10 favorite games of all time.
Ooh.
Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, a return to form for Sonic?
Oh, yes. Sonic has ventured into the open world. And it really freaking works.
That's good to hear. The biggest concern I would think would be his speed kind of shrinks the world by sheer ability.
You would think that, but the world is freaking huge.
So they accommodated. Good.
Yes, they accommodated, and it's great because not only do they get the idea of, the thing about Sonic is that he goes fast. And and there's there's very little interruptions in the things that you need to do, because what they have is they have all these bazillion little micro challenges scattered around the map, little obstacle courses that you could just finish in about 30 seconds. And there's a bazillion of them. It reminds me a lot of, how in Super Mario Odyssey, how you could just get moons really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bazillion of them. It's similar to that. And also the story is friggin' amazing. Like, it's the most emotionally charged since Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, during the credits scene, something happened and I was sobbing on stream.
Well, now you got me curious. But Sonic, I'm guessing it's only on the Switch.
No, it's on the Switch. It's on consoles. It's also on PC.
I'll be.
Yeah, I played it on PC.
I just find it funny. The Sonic was once Sega's poster, but now he's open to all consoles, which just shows the quality of the character, not linked to the fate of the company.
Yeah, and so this game is really good, and the soundtrack is like stupidly good. Like there was like all these metal songs that sound like they're like kind of like this edgy 360 no scope montage songs. Like they know their audience. And also there's like weirdly Shadow of the Colossus atmospheric songs.
Huh. Oh, pardon me one sec. I'm just going to be a little coughing for just a sec.
Uh-oh. Fireback phlegm.
Yes,
well... Oh, sorry.
So I'm happy that I'm well over most of a flu I had, but dang if a cough just doesn't want to hang around forever. And a day.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Phooey, I say.
Yeah, David in the chat said Sonic Frontiers got robbed in the Games Awards. It should have won Best Soundtrack. It should have. It's like Sonic Frontiers just got utterly robbed for like so much. It got robbed from Gamers Choice Game of the Year. Like I understand that it wouldn't be Game of the Year because there are some very unpolished bits of it, but I just don't care. I totally understand people not liking it or not thinking it, and the industry not thinking it's Game of the Year material. But just like at the Gamers' Choice, it lost to Genshin Impact, which wasn't even released this year.
Genshin Impact, also known as Waifu Generator. I mean, that's as much as I know about it.
Or it's like my friend. Or it's like one of my friends called it Breast of the Waifu.
Oh, God. But, okay, I'm sorry if I'm bringing up a bad memory, but all I was weird hearing is some kid storm the stage.
Oh, that's sort of. Okay, so that was freaking weird. So there was this weird, like, kid who kind of snuck on stage. And no one said anything because they thought he was like a translator or something. Or if something was planned, like he was going to do some sort of endgame announcement. This was right after Elden Ring was announced as Game of the Year. And, the designers were doing their acceptance speeches. And all of a sudden, this kid just walks up and he says, I would like to dedicate this award to Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Rabbi? Okay.
Yeah, and everyone was like, there was just silence, like, what just happened? There were like a couple people awkwardly clapping, like, what's going on? And he wasn't supposed to be on there. He was just some troll. And he was arrested.
He was arrested.
Yeah, so just like, come on, dude. Elden Ring deserved that win, and you're taking it away from the... Come on.
I mean, it's not quite Kanye West levels of, I'm going to let you finish, but still.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but like still, like, designers of Elden Ring worked really hard on that.
And probably for that kid, that is the most exciting moment of his life, which, well, sorry to tell you, it's all downhill from here now.
Yep. So it says here that it says here on your resume that you got arrested. Oh yeah, I stormed the stage at the Game Awards and just did a joke.
And you're applying for security. I could. I can point out the flaws really easily. I'll bet you could. Actually, I want to hear that kid did get arrested. So.
Yeah, that's sad.
I don't know. I mean, it's just.
It's sad that. I'm saying it's sad because the kid, he chose poorly.
Very poorly.
But yeah, sorry I'm not contributing much to this topic. It's just that I don't like learning new games all that much because I am a workaholic.
Yeah.
So I tend to pick up the games that I already have, like out once in a while we'll play TF2. I was surprisingly very happy that we picked up Left 4 Dead 2 again because I loved playing that game. And of course, we have our Murder Night tonight, which is basically Among Us.
Nice.
And even Doc calls it Murder Night because he finds it very fun and cathartic that we just all go around stabbing each other in the back. But the guys, Solar, Aeon, Riley, Percival Miller, and Science Steel Rail, and occasionally Golden Box will join us too. They've been getting me into Halo.
Yes, I think Aeon told me that you do the Master Chief collection.
Yeah, he wants me to finish it. I've only think I completed one game, and that was the prequel to the original.
Reach?
Yes, I think it's Reach.
Reach. Also titled, How Can We Make Our Characters Die Even Nobler? They're freaking called Noble Team.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this might be a bit of an obscure one, but that I think is it left a big impact on the industry as well. Spec Ops: The Line.
I remember you've quoted that as such a very much sort of self-aware.
Yeah, it's I still remember the Yahtzee quote that just really just exemplified it. It's the designers of this game said that that the story was inspired by Heart of Darkness. That's rare, was my first thought. My second thought was, wait, did you a-holes just spoil the plot?
The horror.
But yes, Spec Ops: The Line was, whoa. Do not play that game if you want to have a good time.
Oh, that's like the Hamilton producer saying, if you want just feel goods, don't watch the second act. Sweetie Bloom knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let's see here. Question for Josh from Streakerioso. If sent to the worlds in Kingdom Hearts where you changed form, such as the Pride Lands, the Toy Box, Atlantica, what would you end up as in those worlds?
That's a good question.
So, like, would he be a lion again or a hyena?
Yeah.
I'd probably be a hyena.
Or a crocodile who likes to rock. La, 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 la.
I noticed in the Lion Guard, not that I really watch it, I only caught a glimpse of it on YouTube every now and then, but apparently they have okapis in the show. So I'm like, I want to be an okapi.
There you go. I've always had this joke in mind, mostly based on the My Little Pony hippogriffs, sea ponies. I get a hold of the transformation and I come out of there, all these tentacles, and I'm this weird sea monster, kind of eldritch. And then you find out I'm only like 2 feet high because mass conservation's a bitch.
And then I say, hello, mini Ursula.
And I'm like, oh, son of a... And I just get slapped away. But you heard it here first. Mass conservation just doesn't like me. to see here. Trying to get these claws layered properly. Never. Oops. Well, that didn't work.
Oh, I have to do the meme now. Silver, you have to stop! You're on the wrong layer!
Oh, that's true in so many ways. Although, what's that originally from?
What is that? I don't know. That meme doesn't sound familiar.
So there is an image from El Dorado where one of the guards goes up to the high chief. It says, "Sir, we have to get out of here. The strange men are coming."
Oh, that, yes.
So freeze frame that and then put, "Sir, you have to stop drawing." Why? What's wrong? You're on the wrong layer.
No, but possibly yes.
And it's just, that's every artist's worst nightmare when you realize you've been drawing for an hour on the wrong layer.
And then it becomes the right layer, and you've just got to do some very hectic redoing.
I've done it before, and unfortunately, there was no going back.
I've done it before, and I'd do it again, too.
I basically did an hour's worth of line work on the sketch layer.
Yeah. One of my favorite memes of that is it's like, draw on the layer, Crunk. Wrong layer.
There we go. Now, let's see here. Paladin Pony T would like to know, is there a series of fantasy books, old or new, that you love?
Oof, I can't. I don't suppose I can be basic and say Lord of the Rings.
Of course you can say Lord of the Rings. I mean...
No, I don't think that's basic.
Of course you can say that. I mean, it's like... I mean, it's stood the test of time for a reason.
Yeah.
It's defined the fantasy series.
Yeah.
And it's actually got a decent movie series to go with it.
Yeah.
I say decent.
Well, I mean, the
Obviously, it can't follow everything
Yeah.
due to time limit.
Tom Bombadil would be mad, but he's just so nice.
Yeah. It is hard to get Tom Bombadil into the story, but
Well, he's basically he's basically a proxy for God. I mean,
yeah. There are things that there are other stories like it's not a fantastic series, but I do have a soft spot for Aragon.
I do too. It breaks my heart that the movie failed so bad, but I shouldn't be surprised. But I'm sad still, you know?
Yeah, it's okay. So I read the first book at the first two books in anticipation of the movie. That was a mistake.
Oh no.
Yeah.
because I can see why you knew all that was going on, and well, gosh,
It's just it didn't follow the book.
in fact, it closed down several key points.
Yeah, it did. Like the way they did it, they could not do Eldest because it's what was it? They said in the movie that Roran went to go fight in Galbatorix's army. What? But then you can't do the whole defense of the main village in Eldest. That just completely destroys all of Roran's story arcs in the second book.
And he's in many ways more a badass than Aragon.
Yeah.
He ain't got... Well, he's got no dragon. But he's still tearing it up.
Yeah.
I should just go read the books. I need to go read the books. They'll probably make me feel better because I saw the movie. I didn't read the books.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and the thing is, like, how they did the Urgles, like, frickin'. Okay, so like the Urgles in the movie were just like tattooed, heavy-set men. In the it's like in the books they're more comparable to and the books are actually more comparable to Kunari from Dragon Age. They actually have horns.
Ah, yes. Vashadan.
Yeah. And let's see. What else was there? There was so much fun. So, and also you don't freaking see Galbatorix at the. Okay, what is it with all these bad adaptations and showing the main villain at the beginning? Why do they do that?
Ah, yes, the Avatar.
Yeah. It's just like you don't see Galbatorix until the 4th book.
What?
And even then, it's not Aragon who meets him first. It's like you get the first point of view from Naswada, and he's torturing her. It's brutal.
Although with the Urgles, am I saying that right? I realized one way they could be made worse. Have one of them named Steve Urgle.
Get out.
She gets it.
I do get it. I'm pretty sure he does too. He just doesn't want to say it.
Yes.
Voice of Reason brings up a good point. It's Ilnaj put it best about how these books were presented to us kids at the time. Look at what the 16-year-old created. Imagine what you could put your minds to. Yeah, it is written. Yeah, these books were written by a 16-year-old, and in a lot of places it shows. But again, this was a 16-year-old who went and got it.
Mm-hmm.
He did it.
He did it.
And yeah.
Now some people
like there are a lot of you do see a lot of the typical hero's journey stuff, specifically Star Wars. Oh, the Star Wars influences everywhere in Aragon.
Oh yes, some people just say, "Oh, it's Star Wars but with dragons."
Yeah.
Then again, they also say The Expanse is just Game of Thrones in space. Not true.
I've had a similar experience. I grew up with quite a few book series that I really loved. Like there was The Dark Lord of Dirkholm and its sequel, Year of the Griffin, which thankfully he has not had a movie series. And honestly, as much as I wish I could see a movie adaptation, just don't, because Hollywood or Universal have failed me time and time again with that. So just don't mess with my favorite books. Those are my two favorite. Because look what they did to Golden Compass.
Oh, God.
I read all the books of Golden Compass. I was so passionate with that series. I loved the characters so much. So when I go to see the movie, I'm anticipating this is going to be a 3 to 4 hour long movie, because there's no way they could fit in so much lore into just one film. They're probably gonna have to break it up into 2 films. They only didn't do that.
Oh, I can hear.
They just smashed so much lore into such little tiny space that I would be shocked that anyone could keep up, let alone get whiplash.
Well, I mean, they didn't even feature the most heartbreaking scene.
I know.
I mean, that's the scene that turns everything on its ear.
There was not enough time for character development, because these characters had such a strong connection with each other. And boy, do I love Sam Elliott, but he could not save this film. It was just, I was, I kind of just kept thinking, okay, wow, Lord of the Rings knocked it out of the park. They knew what they were doing. They spreaded the movies out. They gave it a 3-parter. Extensions like director's cuts, well done. The only way the Golden Compass could work is if they go that route, like Lord of the Rings, right? They could do that, right? Apparently not. They don't have the budget or something, because they screwed it up. I'm so mad. I really am mad. I really am.
I can tell. I am hearing the rage.
It's never going to come back from that either. It did so poorly in theaters. It's never coming back.
Oh, it might come back, but it'll have to be a reboot.
Yeah, it will. 'Cause that's one of the things that I'm noticing. Like a lot of like reboots and reimaginings nowadays of especially nostalgic media seem to have like a weird contempt for fans of that, for original fans of it. Like Rings of Power. That one seemed to really go against a lot of the original Tolkien stuff, like especially philosophically. Like, really, Galadriel in that show was acting a lot like pre-fall Sauron. Yeah, or like The Witcher. It's like Henry Cavill. He said that as long as they remain true to the story, that he would stay as Geralt, and he left.
Ugh. And
somebody mentioned Gahu. No.
And I can only think of the Halo TV series.
Oh gosh, what they showed Master Chief's face, he banged, which is complete Ace erasure, because he in the books, he's Ace.
And basically, they made the mistake of saying that they weren't looking at the games for inspiration or crafting a lore. Wow, guys!
Ace Arrow, yeah, he is absolutely Ace Arrow in the books. I'm so like, oh.
No, tell us how you really feel. I did.
Like, there are so. Oh yeah, and at the end, basically, like, oh, we're so clever. Do you know why he's so silent all the time? Because he's actually dead in the armor, and Cortana is puppeting around his corpse. Isn't that such a great twist?
Well, actually, I'm not Shama blah blah blah. Might say, what a twist.
Ugh.
Shama blah blah blah. But yes, we've been more disappointed than elated by adaptations. I guess The Expanse, which admittedly I haven't read the books yet. Want to, but not yet. Expanse seems to be doing well, but they left out big chunks, and especially in the final season. I was startled. I had to go right on to Google and find out why a character died in the show, only to find out that character never died in the books. It's like, well, that's jarring. And the reason was because it was the steady stream of incredibly disappointing sex scandals in Hollywood.
And it could be so many multiple reasons. Like, I don't want to completely bash a movie studio for their choices. Like, it could always be many reasons that they didn't intend for it to go that way, but they had to because budget, because pressure from the studio, because they could only fit in so much.
We couldn't fit it all in.
But it's like, okay, if that's the case, then don't do it.
Yeah.
The studio shouldn't do it. Just don't do it if you're not going to do it right. And then, of course, but then you can't help but blame, like, there are times, because I know, like Star Wars is a big example, where the director doesn't follow the guide they're given and says, nah, I'm going to do it my way. And turns out the director is not even a fan of Star Wars. They're a Star Trek fan or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Madness.
That is. And it's also made me very worried about the Percy Jackson and the Olympians show that's coming out. I thought it was going to be okay because, Rick Warren's being the head creative director. But then just with the casting of Annabeth, it's like he said, it's like in the original books, Annabeth is blonde and she's white. And she's cast as black in this. And my issue is that Rick Riordan said that, this is how I always saw her. Like, no, don't do that. Don't frickin' pull a J.K. Rowling on me.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what irritates me about that is just one of Annabeth's struggles in the book was one of her arcs was she's having to shake off the perception that people have of her as the dumb blonde stereotype. So I'm like, how are you going to do that now?
A fair question.
Yeah. And yes, sorry to explain to some of the chat. I groan at Gahoo because don't get me wrong, I actually did enjoy the movie. The animation was very beautiful in some scenes, and the flight scenes especially were very beautiful. Unfortunately, it suffers time constraints. That's why I groan at it, because I haven't read the Gahoo series, but I know it has a ton of lore in it. I would know because Solar Flare is a huge fan of Gahoo. So, too much lore, not enough time in the movie.
That's rough. Especially, I only read the first Percy Jackson, and the first movie seemed pretty faithful. I mean, you know, within limits.
Yeah.
But then the next one, I don't know, I could tell something was off.
Yeah. And
especially, well, they keep killing this main bad guy, but he's actually supposed to be pretty integral. Integral? There we go.
Integral?
Yeah,
don't ask me.
Another thing is that one thing that the first movie really got wrong is that Hades is not a villain. He's not.
Isn't he just like a force of nature?
He's just a character. In fact, quite a few times in the story, he's helpful. And the thing, it just goes back into the original mythology in that Hades is not a bad guy.
No, he's just doing a job.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, at worst, he's usually lawful neutral.
I mean, basically,
I think we could go on for hours about this topic.
We could. Hey, if we want to get another podcast stream together where we just talk about what makes a remake work.
Yeah.
Actually, Brawny Buck, he might welcome that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I would say that the Sonic movies actually are some of the better adaptations because they were made for fans. You can tell. They were absolutely made for the fan.
For fan by fan.
Yes.
Aha.
Yeah, especially the more recent one. I just enjoyed. Well, okay, I did love Literal Bridezilla. I mean, she was kicking all kinds of ass.
Oh yeah.
But even in her heartbreak.
Jim Carrey. I just watched because Jim Carrey.
With good reason.
Yes.
But I mean, when I saw her go in postal after finding out the truth, I'd be like, "You go, girl." I wouldn't want to be anyone on that team. Let's see here now.
Sweetie Blood, exactly. It's just like people see King of the Underworld and all they can think of is Satan.
He's not Satan.
He's
He's Hades.
He's not Satan.
He is not the forsaken fallen angel of God. He's Hades. That's two completely different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, my only real concern... I love both of the Sonic movies. My only real concern is, with the third movie, is character bloat. Like, there's a lot of characters that are going to be in this now. Like, in the third movie, it's just like, okay, so what are they going to do? They're going to probably going to introduce Maria Robotnik. They're going to have to introduce, like... They're obviously introducing Shadow. And, you know, who was also introduced alongside Shadow was Rouge. And, you know, we still haven't seen anything of Amy Rose yet.
Yeah, give it time.
And even then, there's still, like, characters that it's like movie-specific characters that already exist. And I'm concerned about how they're going to be handled. Like, you know, Donut Lord, Pretzel Lady, Bridezilla.
It's
like, how are they going to handle this?
There's a character named Donut Lord?
Oh yeah, it's the character that what's his name plays.
I mean, I do not doubt you. I'm just like, I would like to be known as
James
that.
Marsden.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, it's okay. So, okay. So have you actually seen the first movie?
I have not. Apologies.
Okay. So they actually do something very, very clever with this. Because Sonic grew up on his own, and because he's a rambunctious guy, he gives people nicknames.
Ah.
And he's a police, and the guy, Don't Lord, he's a police officer, and a lot of times he, in order to entertain himself, he plays with the donuts that he gets, and so he's called the Donut Lord.
Gotcha.
And
fitting.
His wife often does yoga outside, so he calls her the Pretzel Lady.
I'm not sure she appreciates that, but
Yeah, and the thing is, when Robotnik comes around with all of his robots, it's like, hey, your egg-shaped robots are pretty amazing, Mr. Eggman. It's just like, oh, that was so clever. Oh my gosh. These movies are so freaking smart.
smarter than they have a right to be. Well, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I mean, a movie's never supposed to be dumb.
Yeah, but it's like they put much more effort into it than is usually put into into a movie like that. It's like it wasn't just a quick cash grab. There was passion put into this.
Which makes me a little hopeful for the Super Mario movie.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, weirdly, I detect my hopes are growing for this movie because and I never thought I'd say this, but I'm weirdly detecting passion from Seth Rogen. Because he named his dog Zelda, for crying out loud.
There you go.
Okay, so okay.
I believe.
I believe he's a nerd. I believe he's a nerd.
No, but I also believe in the movie too. I mean, already had a huge smile on my face when I heard oh gosh, I'm already forgetting his name. Voice for Mario.
Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt. I was already happy about Chris Pratt because I'm a fan of his. I love his work. But then to see Jack Black as voicing Bowser, I'm like, no, yes, oh my gosh, yes. I didn't think he'd make a good Bowser, but oh my god, he does.
Yes.
I'm just so I don't know what people are complaining about with Paisley because I thought he was doing a good job. If they were expecting a full-blown Italian man, then come on. I mean,
oh yeah, it's the thing is that I do think his accent does need a little bit of work, but let's be honest. Like, I think a lot of people seem to forget, like, all the way back in the day, like, when Charles Martinet was Mario, there was a lot of backlash. There was backlash to Charles Martinet as Mario because they called him a high-pitched, annoying Italian stereotype. Like, they said, like, he used an outdated Italian dialect that's, a couple of people even called it racist. Because, of course, they did.
I mean, I'll just outright say it to everybody who's listening. Form your own opinion. Don't follow the herd, please. I know pony pun intent, not really intended, but you know what? Just hell with it. It's intended.
It may not be intended, but still.
Haha. Please, just draw your own opinion. Don't just assume that's it just because of what the masses are saying. Watch for yourself, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
I think it's looking pretty good so far. The movie. It's I'm really enjoying Charlie Day as Luigi.
Yes.
I mean, do you think I know about all the guys who have mustaches like mine and wear clothing like mine?
Because I don't.
Yeah, poor Luigi. And yeah, it's I really am liking the like a lot of things. I am kind of sold. I'm pretty sold on Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. I am a bit concerned that they might be girl bossing her a little bit, but hey, we'll see. It's like, okay, she's acting a lot like Daisy.
More direct approach. I don't want to say take charge, because I remember a Super Mario Brothers comic that was in Nintendo Power, and Peach in that was a powerhouse.
Yeah, and that in that adaptation she was. In some adaptations she is, but in a lot of the more recent adaptations, it's hard for me to see that sort of personality in people other than Daisy. I always saw Peach as more of the diplomat, you know?
Yeah.
It's like someone who is, and I always saw Daisy as, the rambunctious go-getter tomboy.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know much about Daisy. I only know more about Peach, so I'm a bit clueless when it comes to her.
Yeah, but it's just like, and the thing is that I think mostly that's what's getting me is just her wielding the halberd.
Oh yes, while in her motorcycle outfit.
Yeah. Well, she's worn motorcycle outfits before.
Yeah. No, it's.
I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that.
Oh, it's.
I know where you're getting at. I kind of would have preferred that if you want her to look like a leader and not afraid to go into battle, fine. But how about just have her not carry a weapon and just like go up to face Bowser, but she's not armed, and maybe she has a few of her mushroom buddies with her, and she's gonna try to diplomacy with Bowser, and then he ends up kidnapping her instead.
Yeah, it's
like she always gets kidnapped. So
yeah, it's just like if you look at Paper Mario, is that it's one thing that I really just irritates me is when people say that Peach had no personality other than being the damsel, and I'm like, what? Have you not played Paper Mario? Yeah, she was kidnapped, but she had plenty of personality. Like just because someone gets kidnapped doesn't mean they don't have a personality. It's like Luigi's playing the damsel in distress in this movie, and everyone loves him.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
you can have a good character play the damsel. It's not a bad thing. It really isn't. They could be diplomatic, and then in diplomacy doesn't work out, they get kidnapped, they have to be saved. That you can still give them a personality, though. Come on, don't be afraid.
Or they can. I recall in a certain game, Peach could wander around the castle and discover things. So even in captivity, she was a functioning agent. Yep.
Yeah, that's Paper Mario. Yes, she was a. Her thing was the stealth missions.
Now see, I've not been able to keep up with the Mario games as much, but I remember in Smash Brothers, the one where they first introduced Sonic to the roster, there's a scene where Zelda is disguised as Sheik, and she's in conflict with Solid Snake. And I realize, and Peach suddenly bursts in and just has cups of tea ready for everybody.
Oh, it wasn't Solid Snake. It was Star Fox.
It was? Oh, well, okay, Star Fox, and like you look over and Sheik is just calmly sipping the tea all of a sudden, and it's like, well, yeah, I see what you mean about Peach being the diplomat.
Yeah.
Hi.
I really do hope the Mario movie succeeds, because if it does, then it's going to lead hope to hopefully my fantasy being fulfilled of a Spyro movie. Because I would love to see a Spyro movie.
Well, Spyro, I mean, he has the added benefit of talking, so you know his personality.
Exactly.
Although, what would they make it, Skylanders, or would they make it Spyro?
Please not Skylanders. Well, okay, hold on. Slow down.
Okay.
It's not that I hate Skylander or anything. I just prefer the old games. And there were already a lot of characters in the old games. There was Kanga. Oh, wait. Was that her name? Sheila. No, her name was Sheila. Sheila the kangaroo. There was the Captain Penguin and the Ice Yeti and the Crazy Monkey. I forgot their names, sadly. But and the Professor, and there was Alora and Hunter. There were a lot of characters in the old games. From the old games. We don't need we don't need this. No offense to the Skylanders, but we don't need them. There were a lot of characters in the original series. And more than anything, there were so many. Just like in Mario, there are so many worlds in Spyro, for Spyro to go into and visit and see, and there's opportunity. So please, Mario, please be good, because you just might open the door for other video game franchises to actually be good in movies again. Please.
If it were, do you think Wreck-It Ralph will get credit for introducing? Does it put some focus on video games of a sort?
True.
I mean, I don't know if you can fully credit it if there's a video game revolution, but it was like, well, it was first, but it was also focused on game characters that don't actually exist.
Yeah, but it showed what you can do with it.
Yes.
As long as you, I guess it's just a little tricky because the characters you're using in your film are actual real characters from an actual game, so you have to respect the content to some extent. But yeah, I like to think Wreck-It Ralph kind of laid down the road, as it were, on what you can do. More or less. I mean, then again, though, Wreck-It Ralph was more like a universe where the video games were in our world, but they were acting on their own accord.
Self-conscious.
Yeah.
Which always makes me think of a Red versus Blue or Rooster Teeth animation sketch. Guy goes to heaven and he's charged with 10 billion charges of murder. It's like, wait, what? It turns out video games count. So yeah, it's like you a Goomba flying off. You stomped me silly. And it's like, well, come on, you're a bad guy. No, he was just a soldier. Let's see here. Now, quick shout out because I see a Mad Munchkin in the chat. Hello, Maddie. It's good to see you. Tromdalov Drolami. Still can't do that right, sorry. Would your OC rather be attacked by a murder of crows or a parliament of owls? I think the owls, because otherwise I'd be none the wiser.
Pun not intended, you would be correct, because owls are not as intelligent or smart as crows.
Ah, there you go.
You actually just saved yourself a little bit there, because crows actually remember.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's been proven. They remember.
Uh-oh. So
yeah, I heard this documentary from Casual Geographic. A crow, a flock of crows saw a baby crow that fell out of its nest. A man tried to help it, but unfortunately it died, but the crows held him accountable. So for 3 long years, they laid siege to this man by striking him in the head or just taunting him every time he went outside of his house for 3 years.
Ah, no good deed.
Yeah. Crows don't forget.
Dang. Crows are jerks.
No, they're smart.
Oh, they can be very. Oh, crows can actually be very loving if you treat them right.
Yes.
It's just, they're just smart. They hold grudges, but they will also remember kindness.
Yes.
Unfortunately for that guy, it was a mistaken identity.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yes. Now, I realize that we've already gone past my usual 2-hour limit, but that's just because I'm having so much fun chatting with y'all. However, I don't want to keep. I know Ari is recovering. I know Blissy has the dinner, so I'm happy to keep going if you are.
I already ate, so.
All right.
It's up to Josh because I don't want to keep Josh here either.
All right. Well, I guess I could head out. Are we just ending the stream right now, or?
Well, I think it'd be good. I've managed to make some success. Amazing how much time I had to spend on just the legs, but I am pleased with their mechanical clawness.
Yeah.
These are strike laser claw ready, and anyone who's watched Zoids knows what I'm talking about.
You don't do anything halfway, do you?
Never. Never. I mean, if I'm going to give this a try, I'm going to give it my all. That way, even if it doesn't work out, no regrets. Though, if you're asking me to animate this thing running, oh boy, I'm going to bite off more than I can chew there.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over here. You have fun with that.
I don't know.
Bird was hard enough to run animate, and he was organic.
Yeah, this one, I'll figure something out. In time. I'm still watching tutorials on Toon Boom Harmony and feeling very inadequate as like someone uses the onion skin feature to draw a character frame by frame. Like, I just want to animate with keyframes. Please? Thank you?
But that tool will help you do that.
I sincerely hope so.
It will. I know what you're talking about because my TV Paint software does the same thing. Flash does that too.
Oh, Flash. I gave, quote, Adobe Animate a try, but boy, howdy, it fought me.
It is an outdated software these days, so...
Minty Root said it correctly that people don't use Animate, they fight with it. And
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but just some thoughts from a guy who's about to turn 42, which is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. There are times I reflect, there were a lot of kids I know who didn't make it to 42, and that's a shame. So never lament getting older, folks. Some people don't get that privilege. And there's a lot that I had more fun in my 30s than I did in my 20s. I'm having a great time in my 40s. Mostly because once you realize you don't have to follow a script, you just get to be yourself. That's when I feel like life really opens up. And it's because I got to try and experiment with things that I've got to make wonderful friends like Josh and Blissy here. And just get to see and hang out with them at times, which I'm hoping I can do at BabsCon. Maybe. All right. Well, we'll keep the door open there, but I am grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for the friends I have. I'm grateful for Sweetie Bloom's incremental bombardment of generosity, along with that of Gojalion, the Miner, Fire Tiger, and Trinary. And to everyone who just will spend time with us here in this chat and listen to me ramble during these streams, I'm grateful for you all, and I'll be reflecting on that as I start a fresh trip around the sun.
Oh, Anthony C. said hi.
Oh, Anthony's here.
Yeah, he said, he's right, kids. Life gets less scary as you get older.
That's exactly right.
Oh, hey, Anthony. I heard you like Sonic Frontiers. It's great, isn't it? I'm obsessed with this game.
All right, well...
I couldn't tell.
Geez, maybe we should get you two talking. I mean, I can just be working on the side while you guys talk about Sonic, and be like, yeah, I agree with that thing that you just said. Yes, that is very good. That thing. But in all cases, grateful friends. I wish I could have more on one stream, but then we'd all be talking over each other. So the celebrations don't have to end right away. Oh, and a thank you to Go for Ghost over on the Ko-fi. But everyone, I want to wish you a wonderful weekend. Just take it easy. We steadily approach the big holiday, but every day can be a celebration of a sort. Be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.